Do you compare yourself to others all the time? Do you get jealous of other people's success? In this video, we're going to talk about how other people's success is not your failure. So often in life, instead of celebrating other people's successes, we tend to make the story all about us. What we're not doing, what we aren't able to accomplish in life. So instead of looking at someone else and just celebrating them and being happy for what God's doing in their life, how they're advancing in life, we tend to make the story about us. And that's been happening since the beginning of time. You're not the only one who does that. I'm not the only one that does it. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Isaac. And Isaac, he had no place to live. He didn't have a land that was his own. His people were scattered. And so he decided to ask if he could move into a land, a foreign land, the land of the Philistines. And when he got permission to move into this foreign land, he immediately began to have all kinds of success. The wells that he planted, they flourished. Everything that he planted grew. Everything he sowed into the ground began to grow, and it began to flourish, and his business began to take off, and he began to make money and gain wealth and have more livestock and better crops and more flowing water. And what happened is the people who lived near Isaac, they were jealous of his success. Here a guy comes into their land and he begins to have more success in every area of life than they do. The Bible says that Isaac had a beautiful wife, that he had 2 good kids. And so these people look from the outside in at Isaac's life and they believe he's got it all together. So what they do is they begin to sabotage Isaac's stuff. They stop up his wells, they destroy his land, and eventually the king of this foreign land comes to Isaac and said, "You have become too successful. You've become too powerful living in our land. You've got to go. Get out." So instead of celebrating Isaac or asking him what he did to have success, they booted him out of the land, they sabotaged him, and they made the story about them. Too often times, we are just like those Philistines. We see people that we know or don't know, and they start gaining success. And when they start gaining success, we start thinking that we are failures. So maybe we sabotage their success. Maybe we won't do as many nice things for them as we would if things were going better in our own lives. I want to say something to everyone watching this. Someone else's success is not your failure. I'm going to say that again. Someone else's success is not your failure. Just because someone else is doing something great with their life doesn't mean you have to think of yourself as a failure. So I want to give you 2 ways that we can stop being jealous of other people's success and learn how to be content with our own lives and actually happy for other people. The first way to actually be happy for others is to stop comparing them to us. Because comparison is a lie. We compare what we don't know about someone else to what we do know about ourselves. And that can be untrue and unfair. And it's so easy to look at Instagram or other social media websites and you see people who are going on beautiful dates. They look like they're so connected to their spouse. Their family is having an incredible time. Their pictures are perfect. Everyone seems to be smiling. Everyone's happy. They're doing extravagant vacations. Their Instagram account is growing in followers and in numbers, and we just compare. Maybe they're getting more promotions at work. their kids are doing well in school and in their spiritual walks, and maybe yours are. It's easy to compare. So the first thing we got to do is we got to stop comparing what we think we know about them to what we definitely know about us, because it's untrue and it's unfair. There's a term in our culture now called hate-like. It's a hate-like. It's when you're scrolling through your news feed on Facebook or Instagram and you come across someone who just seems like they're doing something amazing. Maybe they've launched a new book, or they started a business, a side business that's just taken off, or they've gotten success. They've just gaining success on social media, and you look at them, and so you might like it, but you're like hate liking it. Like, I'm gonna hate like that. Or you just scroll right past it because you instantly roll your eyes and you get jealous that that person's having success. And so you just scroll by it with just ignoring your friend, or you give them a hate like you like it, but you really are upset about it. This is a similar situation than what happened to Isaac in the Bible, in the story I just mentioned. You see, the Philistines, they looked from a distance and they thought Isaac and his family were perfect. They thought Isaac had it all together all the time. What they didn't know is that family had a lot of dysfunction in it. You see, Isaac was lonely. He didn't have any family around him. He didn't have any friends. All of his people, they didn't have a land to call their own. So he felt lonely and isolated. On top of that, his two sons were dysfunctional, Jacob and Esau. They constantly fought over the birthright. Jacob kept trying to deceive his older brother into giving him the birthright. So they had a lot of dysfunction. And the Bible literally says that Isaac loved Esau and Rebekah loved Jacob. How messed up is that? That the mom loved Jacob more than Esau. The dad loved Esau more than Jacob. You had all this dysfunction happening in the home. Rebekah was deceitful to her own husband, teamed up with her son to deceive her husband. There was all this dysfunction happening behind the scenes. And here's the truth. No one has it together. It may look like someone has the perfect life, but they don't have it all together, because we are all human beings. We are all flawed. We all face hardships in life. And so the first thing we've got to do is stop comparing what we don't know about someone else to what we do know about ourselves, because it is untrue. The second thing we all need to do to avoid being jealous and to be happy for people is celebrate others' success. We've got to start celebrating the people in our lives, our friends, our family members, our co-workers, just people in general who are finding success. Because if we're not careful, we will look at life through a me lens, where everything is about me. But here's the thing, their success isn't your failure. So if we can learn to start celebrating them and start sowing some good, kind things into their lives, then we will begin to reap some of that in our own. Celebrate the fact that your friend's YouTube channel has blown up, even though yours isn't getting off the ground, and now they can quit their full-time job to do YouTube. Celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that your friend bought a stock that you weren't sure of and thought about buying, but they bought it at a really low price, and now it's skyrocketed. Instead of looking at, man, I regret it, so I'm not happy for my friend, celebrate that success for them. Celebrate the fact that your friend's whole family is on a trip to Disney World looking like they're having the time of their life while you're sitting there swimming in your kiddie pool. Celebrate them. Don't make it about you. Celebrate the fact that your friends get to go on a romantic getaway, just the two of them without the kids, and they're having a great time. Celebrate that instead of being jealous of it. Celebrate the fact that your friends' kids are smart or intellectual or doing good spiritually. Celebrate it, even though yours may not be right now. Celebrate them in this season. Sow into their life. You see, in the Bible, that story I was reading, the Bible clearly says that Isaac sowed into the ground. You see, the Philistines were jealous of Isaac's success, but what they didn't realize is he was working hard. He was sowing into the soil. He was working harder than everybody else to try to have more success. And he was doing it. He was going after it. And because he worked hard and sowed into the ground, he reaped the success that comes with it. Sometimes if we begin to sow into others' lives, sow kindness, sow thoughtfulness, be genuinely happy for someone who's doing well, we will begin to reap more of that kind of thing in our own lives. So I've had the opportunity to play in a few celebrity golf outings and get to know some people that we would consider rich and famous. And I love having conversations because here are the people we compare ourselves to all the time, and we put them on a pedestal. And I like to ask them questions to see if they really love life and they feel accomplished. And I was talking to this one actor. He's famous, has money, has fame. And I said to him, what's your greatest accomplishment? And he looked at me and he smiled, shook his head, and he said, the next one. He said, when you live in Hollywood, you never have enough. You never have enough money. You never have enough fame. You never are satisfied with the role you have in your movie or in your TV show because you see other people with so much more than you. They got the Oscar. They got more fame. They've got better roles. They have more money. They have more houses. They do better things. So you're never satisfied in this business. Here's the thing we got to realize, that no matter what season of life we are in, there are going to be other people who appear to be doing better than us and other people that appear to be doing worse than us. And we can't compare and contrast and put ourselves in this chart of success. What we need to do is we need to, one, stop comparing ourselves to others, and two, celebrate their success. When you do that, you can learn the secret of being content with who you are and where you're at with life, because their success is not your failure. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, we would love to have you subscribe. And we also want to let you know that No Small Life is a nonprofit organization. If you would like to partner with us to be part of getting this information out to as many people as possible, you can do that at our website, nosmalllife.me. So have a great day, everyone, and remember, your life is not small.